Like there's people saying that if you just sit on your nut, if you hold on to the nut, girls get horny over you. And then some other people are like, I don't think that's a thing. And one of the big markets on the internet is the NoFap community. Now, John did say that we could get demonetized for this, but I don't care because the community needs it. The men are losing their vital energy, brother. They're making billions, laughing all the way to the bank on your nut, brother. One of the big markets on the internet, I think John will agree with this too, is the NoFap community. Now, John did say that we could get demonetized for this, but I don't care because the community needs it, people. The community needs it. Truly, the pornography has gotten too good. The pornographers, they have too much power. They've got too much power and they can control you by pulling that out. That's why it is time for sexual transmutation. And you know what? That's why it's Kundalini activation. So what we can do, the teachings that I have been reading, and like, look, I'm not going to say it's science. It is a heavy bro science, but you know what happens with bro science like this? I find that NoFap is full of bro science. There's a whole bro science university backing NoFap, the science. But I find what happens with guys, I know a lot of very scientific guys who like it. And basically what happens is that if you agree with the cause, you allow fake science. So there's a lot of pretend science going on, and that's fine. I don't mind it. I actually agree with the sentiment. It's like, it's bad for you. So just make up shit. Like there's people saying that if you just sit on your nut, if you hold on to the nut, girls get horny over you. And then some other people are like, I don't think that's a thing. Other people say that. So it's hard to tell. But this is Joe Dispenza. He has the main meditation that I recommend everyone do. And if you look at that right there, that is a Kegel. That's a Kegel right there. And what he basically recommends is that you squeeze it. You squeeze the keg, and you're trying to pump it up the spine. You pump it up the spine so that it can shoot into the pineal. Instead of shooting it out here in the world and killing them, you shoot it into the pineal gland and bah! God is great. You're one with God. That is the petite death. An orgasm in French is called the petite death. Did you know that? Did anyone know that? Orgasm in French is le petit mort. A little death, because everything's poetic. What happens though is that, yes, some part of you, I think it is true. Even though, look, rife with bro science. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not rife with bro science. I feel it in my heart that in these hard times of Kali Yuga, in these times of maximum suffering, we have to hold on. We have to transmutate it up and into the mind so that then powerful manifestations come out of that. No, I think it makes sense. John, how do you feel about all that?
Yeah, it makes sense in theory, but good luck saying that to millions of people who have access to the P word. Yeah.
Oh, pornographers. Yes. No, we got to call them out by their names. We have to say they are sucking this society. In Kali Yuga, the men are losing their vital energy, brother. They're making billions, laughing all the way to the bank on your nut, brother.
Yeah. You can't tell people to do certain stuff. You can lead them. You can tell them that if you do NoFap, then you might feel better a little bit, etc. But most of them will choose to just the least resistance. Mm-hmm. I mean, get in their phone, they just go to some website and call it a day. And it becomes an addiction, and eventually it's hard to break because it becomes part of the day, even multiple times a day. These videos right here that you're showing have a purpose, but they're not for everybody.
No, I think this is incredible. This is called Stellar Thoughts. I think they're doing incredible videos, and I highly recommend it to people. Again, is it science? I don't know, but I mean, just look at these graphics. I feel good. Normal light field, diminished light, survival in the first 3 centers. Yeah, it's basically like they got all the sciences. They got all the science. This is where you're trying to channel energy up from the Kundalini. Kundalini power is like this Hindu teaching, and I gotta say, it's not even Hindus. Like if I say I don't know about this, it's not even Hindus that get mad. It's actually the white people. The white meditation community is they're almost, you could say, jihadistical about this. Like they get offended, I find. They get offended. This, turmeric, if I say anything about turmeric, they say because I know, like, what do you think? What's the word on turmeric in the Philippines?
Scientific research says it's anti-inflammatory. I do consume it daily. I put it on my food.
I do too.
Version.
Yeah. I do too. And I want people to know that. I am engaged. I'm doing a NoFap service. I'm NoFapping myself. I'm also doing the thing. The reason why I say it though is because I do find that the sciences, while some people are like, okay, it's a pretend science, but just go with it because then other people it'll just teach the right thing. So just go with it. But then other people I find do get turned off by it. They don't like it.
Fapping is like an addiction.
Yeah.
And people that do NoFap eventually just replace the addiction with talking about NoFap. So they're not fapping, but they're talking about NoFap.
It's true.
It becomes addiction, yeah.
Like this guy's got 139 comments on this. What? That's great. God is great. I mean, this is a lot. Look at this. The flow of creative energy in the body. Yeah, no, The thing is, I do believe it though. That's the crazy thing. I do feel like it's the one magic science I do believe in, because you can feel a lessened energy. And again, in Kali Yuga, like not everything can be known. These are unknown. So maybe the science does seem like you can get lost in it. Thou shalt not. Don't let the pornographers take your seed, gentlemen. And there's a couple of reasons, not only Kali Yuga, but actually, a lot of statistics, the statistics do look really bad on this. As much as that you can get into a bunch of fake science and all this weird stuff, which for me has always been a turnoff. I kind of don't like that stuff a little bit. I kind of feel like it takes away from it a little bit. Like sometimes people will tell me like, oh, you better not do it. You don't know, dude. It takes 58 days to recover. Did you know that? If you spill one drop, it takes 58 days to recover. You won't be the same for 58 days. What does that mean? The claim itself is not a scientific. You can't know that. How could someone even measure that or know that? To be like 60 days, no, it wasn't the same. 60 days, the horniness was 10% down. There's no way. What have you seen? Anything silly?
Yeah, but even though it sounds silly, bro science, people believe it. Like most people, like with some of my friends, like, I'm not gonna do it for like just 6 months. It's gonna increase my testosterone level. And the thing is, most people want to increase testosterone level, then they do NoFap, then they go absolutely crazy because it's not, there's no balance. I believe in balance. NoFap day 0, NoFap 12 hours.
Yeah, that's not bad. 12 hours, it's true, because that you get a boost in the first 12 hours. You're like, now it is building. That's day 2. Come on. Day 2 is like day 5, maybe. Day 5. This is Omega Mind. NoFap 1 week is Omega Mind. And then week 2, you are dissolved into the universe, one with source.
Yeah, but speaking objectively, like some people genetically have a higher testosterone. So if they do NoFap, they'll absolutely go, not completely crazy, but it's gonna be hard to live a life if they have high testosterone by nature. I remember Brandon Carter even said the NoFap thing. It's like impossible for people. Men are in their prime testosterone prime from 20 to 30 years old. So from 20 to 30 years old, it's like they do NoFap, then it's completely unlivable life in the sense that it's hard to function.
People that are into it are like so heavy into it. And then I'll read an article that's like, it's way overblown. Like it's just more of a feeling that you get in your heart. Basically, according to internal family systems, what happens, your bad habits are all the result of like this. They have this thing called part. So they have like managers, firefighters, and then they have the true self. And so your true self is like just no fapping day 68. Basically, it's just not. It's like you're doing your shit on your grind. I think the way they call it the 8 C's. You have clarity, courage, curiosity, compassion, creativity, connected, confident, and calm. And then you also have presence, perspective, patience, playfulness, and persistence. 5 P's, 8 C's. They're basically like, that is your true nature. That is the true nature. That's the true self. But then it's being blocked by these managers and these firefighters. And they're saying, and it's actually very in line with Buddhist teachings, because Buddhism, they teach us too, where it's like your true nature is already the Buddha, basically enlightened. It's just that your mind is putting different filters in your mind into the world. And the way that they work is they have like, these guys have a great system though. It's like what in Buddhism, they call it the armies of Mara. In this, they call it, like I said, firefighters and managers. And the managers, so basically what the firefighter does is that whenever you're going to feel some sadness about something or something like hurt, basically a firefighter says, emergency, emergency, we got to jerk off. That's it. We got to masturbate. Emergency, masturbate. And they shut down all systems and they do maximum horniness on you. And then you got to do it. Same thing with junk food. This is why people have these intense cravings for like junk food, cigarettes, any addictions. These guys teach that your addiction is basically like you're hiding some subconscious, something in your shadow self. So there's some part of yourself that you don't want to deal with in this moment that's giving you trauma, that's making you sad or whatever. And in the case of pornography and the pornographists, I think it is loneliness. I think I heard that in one of their talks. So they're saying like loneliness, the problem that you're having. And then these firefighters come in here. And this is one of their things. This is the 8 C's I was telling about, the 8 C's and the 5 P's. And then this is, let me see the other thing. This is where they have the firefighters. And then like firefighter, they come in an emergency. They take over your system. Because when you really crave something, let's say it's junk food. Let's assume that some people are dealing with other things other than just the pornographists. So let's assume that you have junk food, right? Junk food, when you have a strong craving, that's basically your firefighter coming in and being like, shut down systems, we got to go. Emergency, got to eat the donut, let's go. And so they take over the system. There's actually another part of your mind called the managers, and they kind of don't like each other. They're these firefighters. What they say is that the firefighter is protecting you from feeling something that is in the exiles. Tell me if this is getting too deep. So basically, and this is true with Buddhism, this is true with a lot of people who teach about like overcoming these addictions and stuff like that. People say that if you deal with it with sheer force and discipline, then you're like fighting it head on. No, you're not fighting it head on. You're actually like creating resistance to it. So you're making it worse. And then the forbidden fruit must be had. So if you set a belief that like, I'm not allowed to do this, then your brain basically goes, oh, okay, so that's in the sexy department. The forbidden fruit must be had. So now that we're not allowed to do it, it's sexy and we want that. And then it's creating like games with you. So I know people who have studied too much NoFap stuff and they keep breaking it. And then after they break it, they just have all this data about like, I ruined my life. What the hell did I do? And I'm like, how did you break it? You have been indoctrinating yourself in NoFap ideology nonstop. 6 months, 8 months, some people, they're indoctrinated in the ideology, but they still break it. But yeah, that's what these guys think. So these guys think the better way, and this is what I do in my meditation, my loving kindness meditation, the better way to deal with it is to go in and try to find the part of you that you're hiding. So if it's loneliness, to go in and sit with yourself and be like, I see that you're lonely. We're going to work on it. We're going to work on the Tinder. This isn't going to help us. You know what I mean? Like that's literally what they teach to do. John, how does that feel? Is that weird? Is that too much?
Not at all. I mean, I'm just thinking like this. So there's people emphasize like it's pornography. Pornography is the problem. No, it's an addiction, objectively speaking. There are multiple ways to deal with an addiction, either your way or there are people that use other like exercise. There are multiple ways to deal with the problem. You just need to find and you do what works for you, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, that's not marketable. It's over polarizing because that drives views, clicks.
Right.
Like nobody gives the objective view for the most part.
The only way to do NoFap and semen retention is to not count days. Consider it a lifestyle and do it for God. Prayer and fasting helps stay on the path. No more lies, just told the truth. And the moral of the story is, you are loved because you are loved. Such is the nature of loving kindness. Okay? So now that I've done my karmas, make sure you do your karmas. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and sign up for meditation. Ascension is upon us, foolish. Sign up for meditation immediately. Ha! Am I still here?